Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here because today we're going to talk about friends. Um, have you ever had a best friend? Do you not have any friends? Do you wish you had a friend? Did you have an imaginary friend? What are the traits, the characteristics that you would like in your friend? If you want to talk about that, stay with me. Just stay tuned. And is where I would put my intro when I get there. But really, that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about friends. I didn't have an imaginary friend. I pretty much escaped in my mind when I was going through trauma and atrocities that no child should have to go through. However, I've always wanted a friend. I've been betrayed. I'm sure almost everybody has, by somebody I thought was a friend. I wonder sometimes, do we want from a friend something we're not willing to be, which is unfair. So what I want in a friend is somebody that will believe in me even when I don't. Somebody that would stop me from self depravity, from behavior that puts myself down. I would want somebody that encourages me, that trusts me, and that I can trust. Somebody that will speak the truth to me, even when it's not what I really want to hear. It's a lot. It's a lot. What I would want in a friend, for them not to let me go down, is pretty much superhuman. We're talking comic. Yeah, because we're humans and we're selfish. We don't know how to get out of our own selves. Today, people don't really want to help others. So what we want from a friend is something that sometimes we're not even willing to be ourselves. However, if you do consider yourself a good friend, albeit an imperfect one, but do you care about your friends and what they're going through? Do you ask them not as a way of just saying, hey, how are you? Hey, yeah, right, huh? When you really don't want to know? Or do you say, hey, how are you today? Because you know they're really struggling. Do you want to hear? Most of us don't. Most people back away. We care, but I think that listening to another's pain sometimes stirs our own pain. And it becomes a vicious cycle. But I do have a solution for all of us. I have worked on this system for at least 10 years, and maybe a little bit more than that. It didn't become a concrete, well thought out, planned behavior right away. It grew, and it's still evolving, as are every relationship that I have that's worth keeping. I continue to evolve, to grow, to become a better version of myself than I was yesterday, so that I can be a better friend, acquaintance, whatever title you wear and wherever you wear it. And that is, there's one person, I can't say that won't let you down, but that you get to train, you get to clone, and that's you. You know whether somebody saying, hey, it's going to be better, is going to make you feel encouraged, or somebody saying, I know how horrible it feels right now. You feel like you're never going to see tomorrow. Two totally different approaches. One is, hearing their pain, joining in their pain, and another is just kind of trying to brush it aside so that they can get out of that state that they're in. I wouldn't say either are right or wrong, but I know for myself, I prefer the person that will enter into my pain. And there's only one person that can do that, and that's myself. There's only one person that knows that I have been so depressed and I deal with such pain at night, yet I insist on taking my dog for a walk despite the pain, despite the weather, because I love her and I care about her sometimes more than I do myself. Um, but then I'm the only one that knows about that, unless I just bragged about it here. But even if nobody else ever hears or knows about that, I do. And you know what? It's okay to pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, Robin? Wow. Nobody else knows what the heck you're going through. But you do. You know that if you saw another person struggling the way you are, you would do anything you could to help them. And most people can't help me because I'm too dang proud. But that's not the point. The point is I am my own best friend. I encourage me. I have stopped that voice inside that tells me I'm not good enough. No, you can't do it. Don't start a YouTube channel. How silly. You started a bear business. You started a sign business. You started a cake business. You had a craft party planned. You did so many different things, Robin. Why is this any different? I don't know, because sooner or later the slot machine pays off. Sooner or later along the way, if you keep trying, you will succeed if you just keep getting back up. If you believe in what you're doing, anything worth doing is worth doing your best at. And do you know who I tell that to? Me, because nobody else tells me that. I must say this has been a really exciting adventure, because some of the people in the comments have been so affirming, and I'm not used to getting that. It's actually a little overwhelming at times, because I've been strong and I've been the one to say, get up, Robin. But I've also been the one recently, unfortunately the past 3 to 5 years, as pain and health issues have risen and I can't do what I used to do, and that is say it's okay. It's okay if you don't feel like getting out of bed today. Because I know you don't live that way. I know you're struggling. I know you're hurt. I know you're sad. That's a friend. I can check up on me as often as I want. And I love the idea of a child that has an imaginary friend. I didn't have one. I really wish I would have, but it's never too late to create your imaginary friend, because in essence what I'm saying is you need to be your own best friend, because when you notice, when you care, when you give yourself permission, when you validate, when you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter if anybody else does. It's nice when they do, but when you can validate yourself, it doesn't matter if they don't, because you know what you're doing is enough. You know what you did was enough. You know your deepest hurts, and you have compassion for yourself. And if you don't, if you have a voice that tells you, oh, you don't deserve anything good, shame on you, get out of my sight, you're worthless, you as a good friend can say, you step back. Don't ever, ever talk to that woman. Don't ever talk to Robin that way again. She doesn't deserve to be talked to like that. Nobody does. So get back so you can stand up for yourself. You don't have to fight. Most of the time, you don't have to say anything. You know why? Because you know the truth. You know what happened. No need to fight about it. It doesn't matter. Peace and joy are more important than being right. Even though if you have a best friend, they'll always tell you if you're right. And if best friend will be honest with you, not give you a bunch of bull, tell you you can do something you can't do, but tell you you can do something you can do. Shut up that liar that says, no, I can't, and say, yes, I can. Even better than yes, I can. Yes, I will. I will. I'm committed. I might not feel like it. Feelings have nothing to do with it. It's attitude. It's commitment. But I need a friend like that. I need a friend that'll be there for me, that'll fight for me, that'll stand up for me, that'll shout from the rooftops, this girl deserves a break. I know what she's been through. I know what she's living with. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that because I am doing that. I am sharing it where I need to share it. I am learning that I do deserve better because I've become my own best friend. Nobody else told me. There's a few people, I shouldn't say that. I have had some good in the past 5 years, maybe 6 years. I've had some really, really good support from my community, from organizations. I'm blessed beyond words. My physical situation is the part that struggles, but my mental health has never been better. I don't have a car, but I have somebody that makes sure I get to the most important places. I have a roof over my head, even if it leaks. It could always be worse. I've lived in worse. It's been a long time, but I've lived in worse. And I have a good friend. She tells me it's okay to sleep in when I need to. She knows when I don't feel good. She knows why I've retreated, because it's a time of year that reminds me of this horrible, traumatic event in my life. I try not to think about it because my friend, Robin, will tell me, go crochet, go create something, go do something. That's what a friend does. She's with you. She helps you. I know it might sound a little just like a child that has an imaginary friend, but why can't we create one? But being honest about it. I mean, if somebody wants to lock me up because I have an imaginary friend that I know is imaginary, that I've created, but in and of myself, somebody say, hey, good job today. Wow, I know how hard that was for you. Hey, I saw what happened. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, you've got to be so excited. Wow. Hey, I know you know a little bit about so-and-so. Can you help me with that? Hey, somebody was trying to put you down today, and I told them to go take a hike because you don't deserve that anymore. My friend, my imaginary friend, has reminded me to celebrate my birthday, to put on some perfume because it would make me feel better. And I'm not even leaving the house since COVID. It's given me a great excuse to become even more reclusive. I love people at a distance. I love people when I'm allowed to be in control of my life. I do not like when people try to intrude, to tell me how I need to be. You haven't walked in my shoes, and you don't hear me telling you how you should be. Because I think where you are is probably right where you need to be. And I know you've overcome a lot in your life. And I know that you can overcome even more, because life is full of ups and downs. But you can do it. I believe in you. And if today or tomorrow and for a whole week you need to lay down and cry because of pain and sorrow and grief that you weren't allowed to experience, if you need time to process the trauma from a child that was made to do things that were so inhumane, a good friend that would say, go take care of yourself. My goodness gracious, give yourself a break. And dang it, I know that refrigerator is filthy. I'll try to help you do it, but boy, when they designed that, I mean, you have to bend over to get in it every time. The freezer's like this, so I can open up and do my freezer and clean it, but you need more stuff out of your refrigerator, so I have to bend down, and that's where all the pain is. It's kind of ironic. Anyway, so I do need a new refrigerator. It's going to die on me soon. I need a car. I need so many things. But a friend says, you know what? One day at a time. You're trying. Hey, you're working on that book. You're still selling stuff on Marketplace. You're liquidating so you can get your tiny house. You're trying a YouTube channel so that you can let other people know that you know what it's like to struggle with depression and anxiety and mental health issues. And you can still have a dream. Some days you might forget about the dream, but the days that you remember, or the days that you don't, maybe somebody will be around to remind you of your dreams. You can do it. Even if you're the only one telling yourself. But if you listen really close, most of the time you're not. Most of the time you're not the only one saying you can do it. There's others cheering on you too. So let's stop this here. This is what I didn't want to do. But a friend will understand when words are hard to speak. A friend will let you be quiet if that's what you need to do to gather yourself. A friend will tell you what you need to do when you haven't been doing it. Hey, go brush your teeth, take a shower, do them dishes, spend more time playing with the puppy. Hey, do something nice for yourself. Hey, reach out to somebody today. Hey, don't be upset because so-and-so hasn't called you, talked to you. You reach out to them. Forgive, love, move on. That's what I would have in a imaginary friend. Basically, it would be a clone of myself, only because only I truly know what I need. Even when we're sick and dependent on others, we need to have a voice because we know what works. We've been there. We've seen it. And we can love. And we can help and give a hand and be patient where others weren't. We can be the best friend we ever had to ourselves. And then in that process, we will learn to love and respect ourselves because our friend has. A friend can actually love somebody back to life again, especially if they can hang in there when people have mental health issues and are up and down. But when you don't have a friend, be your own. Be your own. Be your own best friend. Believe in yourself. Learn to appreciate yourself. Because you're pretty unique, and only you know it. Only you know what you survived. Only you know how hard it is sometimes to get out of bed. Only you know how much it hurts when you lay down to go to sleep. Nobody else knows. And it's pretty neat to have somebody that really understands. So, I hope we all get friends, find friends, grow in friendships, but I think no matter how great of a friend you have, they're still human. And that's what hurts us the most, is when they do something human, like forget an important day or say something that they should have known better. When how would they know better? They weren't there. You were there. Give them permission. Let them off the hook. Nobody owes us anything except for ourselves. So let's be our own best friend. Try it. Try it for a day. Try it once a day for a month. And let me know, because I've been doing it for about 10 years. And it took a while to trust my friend, myself, to trust the advice that I would give myself. You've heard it said where, what would you tell your younger self? Well, how about what would you tell yourself today? What would you tell yourself tomorrow? What would a good friend, what do you want from a friend? If you could just, the only thing missing is the physical. And this world is getting more and more digital, that I think our imaginations, I guess that's what they're doing with this AI, with the goggles, virtual reality. I mean, I'm 66, and that stuff is just totally mind-blowing for me. But my friend says, oh, well, that's okay. I understand. I remember what it was like back when we had a rotary dial phone. And we weren't sitting here filming and having ourselves and our whole lives on display for a community, because mental health has such a stigma to it, and it shouldn't. People that have suffered from trauma, there's so many hurting out there. But the last thing they need is to be stigmatized, put down, told how they should feel, what they should do. You don't like being told that. Why do you think you can tell them? You have not walked in their shoes. Even if you've had a similar experience, you still didn't have their parents, the environment they grew up in, the teachers that they had, whether they had siblings or not, whether they dealt with racial issues. There's so many variables. Nobody has had the same experiences you had. That's what makes you so special. And that's why you can be your own best friend, and only you. And then I do hope that in the flesh you will find somebody that can be your real best friend instead of your imaginary. I call it imaginary because I like that better, but I just say, I'm my own best friend. Ain't nobody around to help me. Oh, I heard. It's all right, Robin, you did it. I saw it. Good job. Good job. It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good. It's just a way of acknowledging you, and nobody can ever acknowledge you like you. So please be your own best friend. Leave in the comment if you ever thought of that concept or not, if you are, and if you aren't, and if your heart has been broken by a friend, or just what you think of friends. Yeah, let me know, okay? So, friend, you got a new friend today. They're within you. Take care. Be blessed. Talk to you soon. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, I did. I don't know what I'm doing.